In just the past 24 hours, there have been a lot of developments in the murder of the UnitedHealthcare CEO.
Tonight, the suspect is still in Altoona, Pennsylvania, fighting extradition back to the city, setting up what could be a weeks-long process. We saw Luigi Mangione shouting at reporters as he was walked into court just a few hours ago. The Pennsylvania Department of Corrections also released his booking photo, and we've also had our first look at when Mangione was found inside McDonald's as customers tell us about their encounter with him.
Tonight, police are also tracking the 3D printing gun they say they found on him and peeling back the details of the suspect's handwritten document with rants against corporations. We have team coverage from here to central Pennsylvania. Natalie Duddridge is learning more about the suspect's background. Marcia Kramer spoke to the NYPD about the evidence they're gathering. Let's begin, though, with Bauman, who was in the courtroom this afternoon in Altoona. She joins us live with a lot of what happened. Allie.
Well, Dick and Christine, Luigi Mangione did not seem to be nervous as he was sitting in that courtroom today. As he was waiting for the judge to arrive, he looked around at the rows of reporters, seeming to count the number of people in the room. At times, he smiled, and at one point, he even interrupted his own defense attorney. Now that he's decided to contest the extradition, it could take a month for the NYPD to bring him back to New York.
And it's completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people. It's a lived experience.
Luigi Mangione fights to say his piece as he's led into the Pennsylvania courthouse Tuesday for his extradition hearing. Inside, his newly retained attorney contested the extradition to New York for a second-degree murder charge in the death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan last week.
If you're an American, you believe in the American criminal justice system, you have to presume him to be innocent, and none of us would want anything other than that if that were us in those shoes.
We're in the process now of securing a governor's warrant from the state of New York. And, we'll be prepared when the judge schedules the hearing to do what's necessary to get him back to New York.
This new image from police body cam shows 26-year-old Mangione eating alone in the Altoona McDonald's Monday morning just before he was arrested. Police say in addition to the fake New Jersey ID consistent with what was used to check into the Manhattan hostel before the shooting, as well as a 3D printed ghost gun and suppressor consistent with a murder weapon, Mangione also had on him $8,000 in cash and some foreign currency, along with his passport, as well as a 3-page handwritten document. Sources tell CBS News police are now referring to that document as a claim of responsibility and say it appears to be written in a similar mindset as that of the infamous Unabomber.
The one guy said, "That looks like the shooter from New York."
Larry, a regular at that McDonald's, says he and his friends saw Mangione there yesterday morning and later talked to the McDonald's employee who called police.
She said between his eyes and his eyebrows, she says, when I took his order, it was like she had in her mind, oh my God, it's a guy from New York.
Now, the judge denied Mangione's bail request, so he is still being held in custody here in Pennsylvania. Now that he's contested the extradition, Pennsylvania has 30 days to get a warrant signed by Governor Hochul. And this afternoon, Hochul said she is working with the Manhattan DA to sign a request for a warrant to ensure he is, quote, tried and held accountable. Christine and Dick.
All right, Allie, you mentioned earlier Mangione interrupted his defense attorney in court. What was going on there?
Well, Dick, his defense attorney was trying to argue in favor of bail by saying that all the face masks that were found in Mangione's backpack at the time of the arrest were not necessarily suspicious. They could be left over from the COVID days. And at that point, Mangione interrupted, saying that he had just bought those face masks. At that point, his defense attorney shushed him in front of the entire courtroom and said, quote, do not say a word. Mangione followed his attorney's advice. Dick and Christine.
All right, Allie, thank you for that report live from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Now, while there are still leads to follow up on, investigators say that they do have a better picture of Mangione's alleged motive and methods.
Political reporter Marcia Kramer sat down with top NYPD officials to discuss the investigation. Marcia, what are they saying?
Well, Dick and Christine, NYPD officials say that Luigi Mangione was a careful and complicated man who plotted the attack carefully, apparently made the ghost gun and the suppressor himself, and was in possession of a device called a Faraday bag to help prevent cops from tracing him. I asked Chief of Detectives Joe Kenny what Mangione was using the Faraday bag for.
You can put your phone in there so we can't track your phone. It doesn't transmit a signal. It blocks the signal. In essence, it's like if you wrapped your phone in aluminum foil and put it in a bag.
Chief of Detectives Joe Kenny and Rebecca Weiner, the Deputy Commissioner for Intelligence and Counterterrorism, talking about the arrest of Luigi Mangione, the things cops found that will play into the case, including a false ID and the Faraday case. It's a case where they say he will be charged with murder one in the shooting death of healthcare executive Brian Thompson. There are things they know and things they are still working through, including the motive. They think it has in part something to do with an injury Mangione suffered.
That he possibly did suffer an accident that caused him to visit the emergency room back in July 4th of 2023.
Officials say that the handwritten document that was recovered in his backpack by Altoona police also made it clear that he was furious at the healthcare industry.
When you start using rhetoric like these parasites had it coming, you are referencing an anti-corporatist mentality that goes beyond an individual grievance toward a particular injury he may have suffered.
And then there is his apparent fixation with the Unabomber. They found an online review of his book that Mangione did, which they say sets out.
In his view, violence can be justified to right social wrongs. So this was an endorsement of Ted Kaczynski and his book.
So do you think that he felt that he was justified in, quote, what you said, righting the wrongs?
I mean, that is going to be a big subject of inquiry for the detectives.
Officials say they were able to act quickly to identify him as the shooter through a lot of forensic evidence.
We have DNA, we have fingerprints. That's all still being processed.
Were there any fingerprints on the bullets?
No fingerprints on the bullets at this time, but we did have one fingerprint on the cell phone that was recovered.
And as for the murder weapon, officials say he apparently ordered a receiver, which, by the way, is the bottom part of a ghost gun, from an online site, and may have had it delivered to his home in San Francisco. They say he made the rest of the gun with a 3D printer. The silencer was homemade as well. The 2.5-page document in his backpack was handwritten, which authorities say will also help them to tie him to the crime. Guys?
Definitely a clearer picture from what investigators have found so far, Marcia. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. We're also hearing from people who knew Mangione and who were shocked to learn he was the suspect in this case.
Natalie Duddridge continues our team coverage now outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown where the shooting happened. Natalie?
Well, Dick and Christine, a former high school classmate says he is the last person he would have ever expected to do something like this, saying he was top of his class, well-liked, an Ivy League student with the brightest future until this shocking arrest.
It's just so shocking and does not really track with what I thought he was as a person.
Freddie Leatherbury says he attended a Baltimore prep school with Luigi Mangione and is struggling to come to terms with the news.
I can tell you that this is one of the last people you'd think would do something like this. You know, he was one of the nicest kids, most friendly kids that I had known at Gilman.
I'm honored to be speaking to you all today on behalf of the Gilman class of 2016.
Video shows Mangione delivering his valedictorian speech at the Gilman School back in 2016, chosen for achieving the highest GPA.
There was nothing came off weird about him. He had great friends. He was down to earth. He was smart, well-adjusted socially. He was at least a two-sport athlete from what I can remember, and he really had everything going for him.
Authorities confirm Mangione came from a prominent Maryland family who were real estate developers, owned country clubs, and operated a Baltimore radio station. One of his cousins, Nino Mangione, is a state lawmaker. A statement reads, "Our family is shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved." Mangione graduated from UPenn in 2020 with a master's in engineering. He had ties to Stanford. According to his LinkedIn account, he then worked as a data engineer for the car buying website TrueCar. Authorities say Mangione's last known address was in Honolulu at the Surf Break co-living community. Friends there remember him as someone struggling with a spinal injury. Mangione's former classmate says he hasn't been in contact for years.
I hope that they can heal as a family, and certainly the family, of course, of Brian Thompson, of course, is in everybody's forefront thoughts and prayers as well. That's just terrible for them, too.
And in recent months, some friends say they had been trying to reach out to him. There are also several posts on social media asking where he was and if he's okay. Investigators now still trying to piece together what led him to this point. In Midtown, Natalie Duddridge, CBS News New York.
All right, Natalie, thanks very much. And as the case unfolds, we have a lot of coverage on our website. There you can find more reaction from Mangione's classmates, plus more information on his family and education background. It's all on CBSNewYork.com.